and welcome back to Gamesplay Technically. My name is Adrian and I am your host, and today we are back in 7 Days to Die with our Don't Build This Build. This will be part 2, and I've done some of the work already. You'll see it going on in the background. This is just like foundation work, putting the roof on, digging the ditches, some of the electrical work. It's a lot of nitty gritty because this base has a lot of nitty gritty, and I thought maybe you guys weren't entirely interested in that. So we're skipping it. We're going to try to get to the end results. I'll explain more or less how the design of the base is supposed to work. And with that said, if at the end of the video you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't done so already, hit the bell, all of that good stuff. I did have another influx of new subscribers, so welcome. Glad to have you. And now let's get on with the video. Hey guys, this is the day after I recorded the intro. I did some of the recording, or rather some of the work already. I did pretty much all of it. All we have left to do is put the spikes on the roof. That way we can deal with any buzzards that come our way. And so I recorded for about an hour and a half, and it's unusable. It's it's 45 minutes of me pulling cable, then another 45 minutes of me loading up dart traps, turrets, and crates. That took so long. It took such a crazy amount of time for probably not going to be a lot of return on this. The first video is not doing that well. I don't expect this one's going to do too much better, but hey, we got to power through. If somebody is interested in exactly how I did the wiring here, I can do a short video on that, but for now we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to show you kind of the basic premise of this, as well as do one kind of last check. What we should do is put some steel in our inventory, put a decent chunk of steel, get ourselves a nail gun, and just upgrade whatever we see that should be upgraded. So we're gonna go ahead and just upgrade anything that we're worried the Zeds are gonna see as a target. So really I should have done this yesterday as well, but as you can see, we're already strapped for time. It took 7 days to build this. It was 7 days to build a base. It was 7 days to don't build this base. Okay, so just right off the bat, how are Zeds getting here? We have 4 entrances, 4 ways to get in here, 4 paths. So the idea is coming from off of the map as they spawn, you're gonna be running up onto these stairs. I've put these blinders here for the turrets. So there's 2 for 6 turrets, and the blinders are there mainly so that they don't shoot at the Zeds when they're like over here or over here, because they might trigger a demo and then they're going to blow up one of these pathways. We don't want that. So essentially, like right around here, this is where Zeds are getting all of the fire from the turrets. So this is less turrets than we used on our previous build, but it is more turrets overall because we've got 4 entrances. Previously we had 1 entrance with 15 turrets. Now we've got 4 entrances with 24 turrets total, right? 6 at each entrance. So Zeds come up here, they take any one of these paths, either that way or this way, whichever one they favor, and they enter a kill zone that I am fortifying right now. And so this kill zone has electric fencing running lengthwise. This is about the maximum length for these cables, which I lucked out on. I was not expecting that. In fact, I had completely forgotten that there was a max range on the cable, so I'm really glad that worked out. We set up these cameras here. We went ahead and did floating cameras. We disregarded realism. These cameras are floating cameras. Whatever, who cares? And so the idea is this one is watching this way, and then on the opposite side, you also have one watching this way. They're not going to trigger symmetrically, which is what I would have liked, but I don't think there's an easy way to do that. I think this will work well enough. But what will happen is at this point right here, I tested it. Both cameras should be triggering. So even the one over there can see over here. You see it's right there. It can see right through the bars. So it'll see Zeds right here. And so while a Zed is trapped, they're going to be getting blasted by turrets from above, left, right, behind them, and in front of them. So it is a total of 16 dart traps, all shooting them at the same time. This is what kept me pushing through is getting to try that out. But there is still the chance that they'll get passes, especially like the previous design basically didn't let, I think 1 Zed got through, and I'm not even sure how. So if they still get through here, we have kind of our classic everything base setup here with our blade traps, darts on 2 sides, and electric fences. And there is a change though. And that change is that I have automated the hatch. So previously, if a Zed did get here, I would have to come and deal with them. I'd have to pull a switch to drop them. So there's 2 cameras pointing this way. One of them is handling the traps on the fence posts, as well as the blade traps. And then the other one, what it does is after a couple of seconds, it'll trigger, and it'll drop this hatch. It'll open this hatch, drop the Zed down here. The Zed now has to pad their way out back onto the stairs, through the turrets, and if they can survive a second round through the turrets, that's pretty impressive. And then they will go back into the kill box, and I can't imagine we're gonna get the same Zed showing up here twice. That would be pretty impressive. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen. I think this base is gonna pretty handily deal with them. So obviously I don't need to go over each side. I do need to, however, upgrade material on each side. I'm hoping this lip isn't a problem. But the reason I'm upgrading these is I don't know how a Zed is going to react to like a naked trap, right? They could potentially try to break through here. They wouldn't through here because there's nothing on this side, but they could potentially try to break through here. So I don't want them to do that. So we're gonna upgrade these, just the ones they can reach, as well as all of the fighting positions. All right, we're gonna put our spike traps up here. This is just because we're probably gonna get some amount of buzzards, of vultures, causing issues for us. This is probably overkill, but it's just to get them as they swoop in on the base. And I'm guessing they're gonna target this because we're visible through here. I'm not sure. Although we're going to be moving around the base, so they might be hitting different parts of the base. And I'm not going to put spike traps all over it. That's a crazy thing to do. Literally minutes after saying it would be crazy to put too many spike traps on the roof, I went ahead and did that just because I found a pleasing shape. And before we get to the blood moon, I do want to show you guys what it looks like from the inside. As you can see that the wiring it's not complex, it's just complicated. There's just a lot of it, I should say. That's probably the most accurate way to describe it. As you can see, there's just generators all over the place, floating cameras everywhere, crates for all of our supplies. And so from here, we can get to pretty much any dart trap, any turret, right? So going up here, we can go to the 3rd floor. We can see this is the highest floor. So these are our top level turrets, as well as our dart traps that are facing down from the ceiling. So we have access to all those with additional crates with more supplies for each of them. And then there's this ladder over here. This is going to get us down to the floor that's on the same plane with this one here. And so from here, we can then access these turrets, our middle floor turrets, as well as the dart traps on this side. If we want to go down to the very bottom floor, we've actually got to go cut across to one of these corners. And so here we have access to these dart traps. That's simple enough. But the ones on the bottom floor, we do have to go down this way. So here you can access the motion sensors, the dart traps, additional generators, as well as the bottom dart traps and the bottom floor turrets. And so there's 4 sides to everything. So it's gonna be a lot of me running around. And like I said, I automated the hatch over here. So this guy here is set to delay for 5 seconds. So once it sees a Zed, it's going to wait 5 seconds. Then it's going to open the hatch for 2 seconds. That's fine. I'm not going to mess around with this. And 5 is the max. I wish this was more. I wish I could set this to 10, even 20 seconds. If I could let just zombies pile up here before it drops them. But 5 is the max. We can live with that. All right, all that's left to do is prep my character with whatever materials he's going to need, get him leveled up, and then set the day to something, 105 maybe, and see what we pull in for the blood moon. I will see you guys in just a second. All right, we've made our spectacular entrance, and we are on day 105, 1600 hours. That means that our game stage is set to 484. We've also only got 18 zombie kills, so we'll subtract that from the total at the end. That'll give us an idea of how the base performs. Additionally, I also set the run speed to nightmare, because I figured that's going to get him in here faster. I maxed out my level. I have done everything possible to ensure that we get the best shot at just killing as many zombies as we can. I think at level 300 it's going to be too many either way, but what I'm hoping is we're going to hit a zombie kill record. I'm shooting for, no pun intended, I'm shooting for like, I don't know, 400, 500, 600. We'll see. All right, and the only thing left to do is to wait for the blood moon to begin. All right, here we go. Okay, that one got close enough that it triggered the blade traps, but then they died. So it looks like primarily two sides are being activated right now. We're getting some of the frog zombies too. I didn't expect that. Okay, so far holding up pretty well. Let's I guess let's get to doing repairs. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh no. They found a way in. How did they get in here? Oh crap. They did what I was worried they were gonna do. Let's see if we can replace this block. Let's get this upgraded. Let's see if they've done that in any other direction. So we're not going to reset for that. That's just a quirk I think that we'll have to keep in mind is we did have I guess a location where the Zeds saw a faster way to get in and they took advantage of it. There they go, using their engineering degrees, their architectural degrees to find all the weak spots. Whoa. Where did you come from? Crap, they're still getting in. They have found another entrance. Where is it? They're dropping in from above. Okay, let's take a look. Let's see what's happening here. Let's stop the AI. Yep, they have found another spot to get in through. Okay, I mean, clever, fair enough. Okay. Okay, we have gone ahead and reset. That means we're behind on ammo, because all I did was set the time back. And what I've done is I've repaired those spots, just to see if we can avoid them trying to break through there. I think we're going to do all of this here. Yeah, it looks like, I don't know if this is anything having to do with the new update, but it looks like they have found new ways to get in. Okay, I think we just about got all of it. Then we will wait for the blood moon to start, get a new count on our kills. That's interesting. That means that I wonder if the way they detect, like, these fighting positions might not be any good anymore, or maybe they needed to stay concrete. That way they would see that as a more enticing target, right? A softer target. Okay, it's getting ready to start, so we'll get back into position. I was just seeing if any of these needed repairs. Looks like they did, and we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be behind on ammo. So let's get our zombie kills. We are at 117 enemy kills. Okay, so we'll subtract that at the end. Let's see how this goes for us. And here they come. Okay, and what I was trying to do, I was trying to work on some of the turrets, get them reloaded. These have not been used. Alright, and here's to hoping they don't start breaking through walls again. We gotta move on to another floor at some point. They're not using some of the staircases, what I'm noticing too. But also it looks like they're not breaking through on certain sides anymore, which is good. Oh crap. They have found a way in, which is, where did they find a way in? They still ended up taking this passage, even after I put a steel block there. Yep, they're just going straight for this. Holy crap. Okay, let's try doing something about that. Let's see if that gets them to quit. I hear the hatches going. Oh crap. They just about had me there. Let's see, that means they probably broke through on one of these other sides. Yep, right here. Okay, these are going to be way too fast for me. Crap, yeah, they have broken through, I'm guessing, in multiple locations. Yep, they have decided to crawl through here as well. Okay, let's go ahead. I think the test is over. Okay, so there's two major issues, right? The first one being that we just have to do extra fortification on this guy. There's a second issue, and this one I don't think we can solve for this, is the way their pathing changes as I'm moving around. I have to spend time in various parts of the base. Yeah, there's no, right, if I'm down here, their pathing changes. They decide to break through a different way. Right, if I'm up here, it might be fine. I'm gonna reset and just see if I can better fortify, and I may just sit here and just, basically the way this is gonna work is just however much ammo we have to deal with them is what we have to deal with them. Let's go ahead and give that a shot. All right, we're gonna take things a little more serious this time. That was interesting. So, I mean, it is interesting. Like, they are kind of figuring out new ways, I think, new ways to break into a base. So what I've gone ahead and done is that I've done an unreal amount of fortification with steel. Like, this is a crazy amount of steel that's gone into this. And then I've also softened the fighting positions so that they're more enticing. My hope is that, and then on top of that, I'm not going to move. So basically I have as long as there is ammo, essentially. And then the goal is basically just to survive. It's funny. Initially, I thought this base was about killing Zeds. This base is about survival. So it is still not a worthy base to build just because of the sheer cost. But we'll see how far it gets us. I've put in these additional kind of cages with doors, and we're gonna see how this goes. I didn't add any additional switches, so basically this is still all gonna be automated, right? I'm not gonna be operating the hatch. And once again, we'll go ahead and move forward. We'll set our day to day 105. We'll set it to 2120. And that means that our game stage is 484 and our enemy kills is 0. So we're going to let this run. Whatever happens, happens. We're not going to try to salvage it. I'm a little more hopeful. Well, I was hopeful previously. In fact, previously I was bored. I thought this was going to be... Fuck, shut up. All right, Blood Moon is about to start. I gave myself ammo for the SMG and the large machine gun. So we'll see how we handle here. Oh, I forgot to remove the... those frames. Oh well, I'll bust through those pretty quickly. We didn't put spikes up on the roof either. We'll just have to deal with that. Alright, let's see how we hold. So my main concern here, and it looks like it's what I'm seeing, is that they're going to be focused on certain sides. They're not spread out evenly, which means that one side is going to run out of ammo way faster than the other. I may at that point unclip this. Well, I'd have to put down a switch, and I don't have any on me. So we'll let it run through. We'll let it run its course. Yeah, it seems like they're focusing mainly on two corners, which is interesting. I was kind of hoping that they would be a little more spread out. But they are thus far sticking to their paths. They're not doing anything weird. Oh, and some of them are going backwards. They're traveling in a different direction. Also, I see a dart trap shooting the wrong way, I think. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on there. have a dart trap that's facing backwards. That's too funny. Yeah, and part of the issue with running the fences lengthwise is that they don't actually get stuck in the kill zone that I want them to be in. So they're kind of getting stuck where they're not getting hit by every dart trap. Some of them are getting in there. Oh wow, the blues are fast. Everyone's on nightmare speed too, so. Okay, we're getting a little more use. I think 3 sides are getting used this time. Let's see, it is midnight. We've still got a long ways to go. What is our kill count? We're already at 241. That's looking pretty good. It is loud though. Thinking we're done, and then goes. It's like waiting for popcorn to finish. Think you're done, then you hear another pop. Okay, I think that's it. Yep, there's another one. Okay, I think we're done this time, or not. So about 679 kills. A few of those were me. But it couldn't have been a significant amount. Maybe 5% of those were me. So what is that, like 30? Okay, so I think, I mean, it was a proof of concept in some ways, right? Even though I went really maximal with it. But it killed a lot of Zeds, right? It killed a lot of zombies. We almost hit 700. Didn't see any demos, which was weird. I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, the infernals and the blue, I forget what they're called, they're pretty powerful. They're pretty effective, and I think that more than made up for not having the demos. I don't think we were going to accidentally, well, I shouldn't say that. I think it's entirely possible we would have accidentally blown up some demos. That'll have to be something I test out at a different time. I can't really justify spending more time on this specific build and video. Additionally, I really like the automated hatches here. I think those worked pretty well, especially for something like this where I can't keep an eye on everything. It meant that they didn't let the Zeds spend too much time attacking any one fighting position. That was pretty good. Overall, I think I'm pleased with the results. I thought this was going to be really disappointing, and this was kind of interesting. In particular, it was interesting the way the Zeds subverted, I guess, what I expected from this. And it gives me some ideas for different base designs. Hopefully it's got to be something more compact. I want to try building something that can deal with a problem like this, but in a way that's actually survival buildable. Like, you can build this in survival, it would suck. There's so many blocks on this. So I'm going to try for something smaller for sure. Anyway, this was kind of a wild ride. I did not expect this. There was a lot of ups and downs in putting out this 2-part experiment. But I mean, ultimately it gave me some ideas, so I don't know, I guess I'm a little happy with the results. It's still a big stupid base. This is not there's no getting around that. And like I said, don't build this base. But if you had a good time, hit the like button, hit subscribe, hit the bell, all of that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.